the achievements so far in your coaching
Look, it's very difficult to compare sports moments ones with the others because they all build you until the moment you arrive where you are. One thing I can tell you, this one is giving me a huge pleasure, huge. When you achieve results and they mean that they are a product of love, um, they have a special meaning. And I think this trophy here won by our players is really a product of love. What I mean with love is the relations we establish between ourselves. And it's not easy to be welcomed as I was. I knew that that moment was a very detailed moment in the club. It's not easy to substitute leaderships when they are strong, and mostly when they have results. And when we read here, we see the years that before this one also were years of sports success. But we also knew the energy that we had to give to the boys, and eventually that before winning the players, we had to win the men. And this trophy is a pure example of that. When you see so many people around the footballs, it means that there's something that then lets the football appear. And I don't get tired to say that we never chased championships. We chased to build champions. That is completely different approach. And to build champions or rebuild or continue to work with this mindset, you need to relate with the men before you relate with the players, or at the same time as you relate with the players. You need to establish, and I spoke already about a lot about values and what values we needed to the base. The values is this that is here, the base that is the man and then the football. And when we embrace those values, that's a moment where the team went better and better and better. Um, Obviously, that is a work we did, but it's more easy on this locker room with these guys in this club. So going back to your answer, obviously that this trophy has a special meaning because that's it.
Thank you. Coach, congratulations on a very good season. I know you arrived halfway through. Um, not halfway. I mean, yeah, in December. I mean, 16. Yeah,
Yeah, but
you
it's
played
just
20 games, so it's enough.
no 21.
21. Sorry, I didn't count this one. Coach, usually like when a coach will come in during when the season has started, it's even harder because if things don't go well, the coach arrived at when the season has started during the preseason. But also when the coach wins, sometimes people don't judge the coach on what they won because maybe say if you didn't win the season, they would have judged you on that. How have you been able to navigate through all the difficult moments, and how have the senior players helped you more especially in this team?
Let me go for both sides of the question. First one, with all the respect by the media, by the fans, by the people, I don't need external validation. I don't live from that. I live from other things. So people saying or having doubts on me never was a problem for me. Just for you to understand how people were mistaken regarding many things, and at least they were not really attentive to myself or what where I came from. Um, Today I opened my Instagram and it made 16 years I played the Europa League final as assistant coach, Braga Porto in Dublin, 16 years ago. So there's a long, long, long way until Miguel Cardoso arrived in Sundowns. And that is the attention that people didn't pay. People just went back and said, well, how many trophies you won? And I said to you in the first day, the trophies a coach wins have to do with where he was, because not every coach, and there are for sure many coaches much better than I that will never win a trophy because they never had the chance to be in a context where winning is possible. But they won many other things. I lost that final as assistant coach in Dublin against Porto. But if you go back and you see how many games and to the teams we won until we arrived in that final, Liverpool, Dinamo Kiev, Sevilla, Celtic Glasgow, Benfica, Lech Poznan, Arsenal, just on that way until one final, and you lost against Porto 1-0. But that trophy I don't have in my career. But look the amount of games we won until we arrived in that final that we lost. So on that day, I was not happy, but I was not a loser. I was a winner. And still, after 16 years, when I look my phone and it reminds me, 16 years ago we were in the final of Europa League, I feel proud. And this is something we need to understand. So regarding the players, no doubts. Look, I don't work for nothing more than the players. I was asked in the pitch how I was feeling, and I said, if I could just go back there and sit on the stands and look the party and look my players and look their smiles and look them with the families and look their love, that's my job. To arrive on this moment and give them those moments. As better as they become, the better I am as a coach. So I don't need credit for myself because the credit I get comes from the work of my players. If they win, I'm a better coach. If they don't win, I'm not for sure a better coach. So I just need to work for them, to work for them, and work for them because I know football already. I will be praised because of the work they do. And that's also what I gave to them: dedication, hard work, a lot of study, tools. As I spoke here many times, I just need to give them tools, and that's what I have to continue to do because tough challenges ahead. And I hope we are prepared. I hope we get even more energy from here because obviously the locker room I have is a locker room of champions. But the question is that football needs answers every day, and it changes you the question sometimes very quickly. And you cannot give the same answers. You need to find proper answers for another question that is different than the one you answered before. And I never forget Maturana was coach of Colombia. I don't know if you remember. He went on a World Cup. He made a wonderful World Cup. And a couple of years after, he disappeared as a coach. And they asked him what happened sometime after in an interview. What happened to you that you disappeared? And he said, when I thought I had all the answers for the questions, football changed me the questions. And that's exactly what we need to do. This team is continue because it's not the same win 7 championships or win 8. It's not the same win 8 or win 9. And that was the question I made to my players. If they were satisfied by having 11, 7, 5, 4, and also I put it to the senior players, the ones that have several trophies, not like this, but that they mean the same. If they understood that for them, maybe it was the 12th or the 9th or the 7th, but for other players, it would be the first one. And for me, it would be the first one. So were they willing to give their lives so that the other ones also could get at least the first one to start? And this is heritage. It's heritage. When a club has these values so strong that it's not because you win once that you are happy. It's not because you win twice that you are happy. It's because it's you're part of you winning. And or if you don't win, you don't feel good. And that's when you leave the values that we took in the locker room. When we started leaving those values, and you feel bad when you go out of the values, even the defeats cannot put you down. Because when you lose or when you don't win, you feel so bad that you need to react. Because it's not what you are being in that state. And that makes champions regularly. The ones that don't win once but win more than once and don't stay happy because they won once, they already prepare the next one. And that's what, for example, today in the morning I spoke with the players about. How you want to today, after the match, what kind of answers or questions you want to be asked. Because today, winning or not winning would not be the same. And we had to win today, whatever, at what cost it had to be. So I was not really worried on the second half that the players were passing the ball between themselves and not being so aggressive in the front. I was not, because I know what they were looking for. They just wanted to win today. And they made it by a very strong start of a match, scoring 2 goals and being happy. Because I also told them there's two more objectives: no goals in our goal and happiness inside the pitch. So enjoy playing. And I saw that. I saw that. But also, I know how is football. Football turns you upside down very quickly. So we need to be stable. We need to focus on what we have ahead. It's just in 1 week that I have to sit here again in front of you. And then in another one, we'll have an answer regarding Champions League. And from there, we go in the World Cup where we play against the best ones in the world. So we just need to be stable, look ahead, and continue believing that we can be on the height of the challenges.
So Modiba, and then there was a hand outside C. I'm not sure if C had a hand. Okay. Modiba then will come this way. Modiba then Shabalala after that. Then Skep.
Coach, congratulations once again. Is this like perhaps I had a different question, but you keep mentioning the fact that you know how you arrived, you felt that you are not welcome. What is it about the way we welcomed you that, as the media, that maybe you felt that we didn't think you are up to the task? Because from our interactions with you, your history, you know, having coached all over in Europe, we were intrigued about your CV, and you know, the press conference went on and on. What was it about that first press conference that you perhaps took and thought maybe we're not welcoming you?
You are putting it in the level of the media, and I'm not really relating with the media or nothing special. And basically, it's more the questions that I received, or that I receive still, because still people, even today on the pitch, to colleagues ask me about that. So I never related with that. I never felt. I told you that I feel so good in South Africa. I think that a coach that is not happy would never show my himself like I show permanently to you in a normal. You see me with a smile. You see me focus obviously on my job, but you see a guy completely living his life in peace. I live my life in peace. And it's always normal when a foreign coach goes wherever it is in the world that people look at him in a different way. It's normal. It's normal that when a foreign coach goes anywhere in the world, that the coaches from the country look at him in a different way. I'm not saying that it happened or not. It's normal because we are not from here. I come from very far away from here. It's 18 hours to arrive in Portugal. And it's normal that people don't know exactly. If I had not played Sundowns the year before, probably also I would not know so well Sundowns. So it's normal that there is some, at least, um, uncertainty because of the fact that we don't know the thing. It's like when you go in a street that you don't know. When you enter the street, if it's night, you get a little bit. It's normal in the world to happen that. But I never felt. I always told that I was so welcome in the club, in the country. I just have a slight idea because I also don't look. I don't read, and my assistants they know. I don't read because sometimes I tell them, look, send me some things that appeared on the media because I also like to see the photos and stay with these moments for me. So mostly Fabio, I ask him, hey, Fabio, please send me some things because I don't look. And I don't look, you know why? Because I don't, as much as people are well solved regarding the way they are with themselves, there's always an influence that, and I don't want to have that influence. I like to go my way, make my analysis, study as much as possible, discuss with the people around me, discuss with myself, my staff, and I have wonderful people around me, and I would like to speak about them because my assistant coaches and my staff is amazing. This is not a one man's victory; it's the victory of a group of coaches that some of them followed me from Tunisia here, Fábio Fernandes, uh, João Pedro Araújo, and Pedro Silva, but also the guys that I received and that received me here that made me wow. Because working with Coach Steve has been fantastic. Coach Capelaya, Kennedy, fantastic. the group that Matthias Zanzenberg coordinates very good. So it's only when you stand in the shoulders of giants you can see further, and that's exactly how I feel. Obviously, that it's a moment also to speak about the trust that I received from Mr. Fleming, from the chairman, that from the first moment they had no doubts. They knew what they were looking for. And when we spoke, and we spoke a lot and many times, we knew that we had a good chemistry. It's not easy to work in football, and the relations between people in football, even inside a club, sometimes not easy. But we are very mature, and we discuss. We have enough flexibility to understand each other, and obviously it has been a wonderful trip to work in the club. Also, I would like to take a moment to speak about, and that is the most important, about my our players, because they really have been challenged and continuously are challenged by me. I don't like comfort. I think that living out of your comfort zone is the best thing where you can have, is where magic exists. So I like to push the boundaries. I like them to be discomfortable permanently, and but I like so much they feel good in that situations, in those situations, and that's what we did. Try to take them to see a little bit different things. Not that the past was bad, because the past was good, very good. I told that, and I continue to tell. I was an admirer of Sundowns, but as I said this week in a radio program, there was once a president that told me you should play like this. I said, why? Yeah, because some time ago, in my time, it was like this. I said, what? When was your time? 45 years ago. I said, please. That's exactly the question. Football changes and the dynamics changes, and you always need to find answers and adaptation to the players you have. So we put it some challenges on the table. We tried to create other variants, and I think that this season of Sundowns will stay for sure in the history for a long time. It's not easy to repeat. I know that you are saying no, but last year was already a season of records. I know it, but this season I think we eclipsed almost all records that. And it's not me. It's not me. It's the guys that handle the balls. I just lead them and guide them and help them to do it. But they put it in such a way that is very, very difficult, because you cannot win more home matches than the one you have on the calendar. It's very difficult to score more points than the ones we scored. It's very difficult to score as goals as we scored. Everything is very difficult. But I'm happy, because when you put standards, it means that you went on a level that is very difficult to achieve. And that is the thing that I really think that South Africa still doesn't recognize. Maybe one day, Mamelodi Sundowns as a club, as a structure, the family that supports it, the group of players that have been here in the last years, and the coaches that have been here in the last years, myself included, have been done a wonderful job. And that I feel that it's not really recognized in the level that it should be. And this season again, the club goes on a Champions League final. That for the country 10 years ago it happened. It was again Sundowns. If we go back when Pirates played, I think Pirates played once, yeah, one final, and Chiefs also, yeah, yeah, but it,
20,
yeah, but
2013.
yeah, some time ago. But look, your football is very good. You have a very nice football. I think you just need to continue and continue to work in order to develop it, because football here is good and people love football. Obviously, the culture of South Africa is in your football, is in the stands, is in the way people relate with the game. But keep pushing it from there where we are, further and furthermore. National teams are doing well, um, very well, by the way. It's so happy to see it. It means that the players that represent South Africa are in a good level. But don't stop yourselves as journalists, we as coaches, the structures of South African football. Push the boundaries, push it forward and push it forward, create conditions on the base help to develop young players so that we can continue to be better.
Shingu, you had a question, then Skipper, then Gaipon.
That's the short one.
Coach, congratulations on the beautiful season that you had. You come to South Africa, you find the Sundowns with players that you found here at the club. What is it then that you say you're going to work on first to change their mindset, to adapt to your blueprint? Because they've just parted ways with the two coaches that they've understood through the years to the level where you are with them now.
Now, I totally understand your question, but exactly not breaking suddenly with the past maybe was the key. One thing they understood immediately that I knew them very well. I knew the players very well. I knew the club very well. I knew the football they played very well. And also I knew very well where I want to go. But also I knew that I could not break something and because I would put the players too discomfortable. One thing is not letting them be comfortable by the challenges we put them. Another thing is create on them something in terms of idea to play that is so discomfortable that takes them creates doubts. I also was very lucky because we started winning, and winning in the beginning is the input, the energy you need to make people believe. And we won, as you remember here, a very important match against Raja. Then we went in Stellenbosch. We won in Stellenbosch, and I think after 2 weeks, we were all believing that we would have capacity to do a good job together. The past is past. Doesn't exist. What exists is only the present. Even the future, it is up to us to write it. So we don't. We should never. No one should relate to the past. We should never forget the past because it's where we come from. And also knowing the past of the club was probably one of the biggest advantages I have because I knew the past and I respected the past. I never broke the past. I spoke with big respect about what the job that was done here because I know how difficult it is to write one of these so simple lines, what it means in hours of work from everybody. So I had not to break nothing with the past, just respect. So I knew where the guys were coming from. And the respect that I showed also from the past probably opened their minds and their hearts for myself. Because I had nothing to break with the past, just respect and accept it. Even today, it's not important to speak about the details, but I praise exactly the past in front of all the players. And it's that respect that I also show by their work in the past, and the past was a couple of months ago, some weeks before, 1 year before I was here, that also made them understand, oh, this guy respects us, he knows what we did. But it's not because of what you did that you cannot continue to do. It's possible to continue to do. And the challenge will be ahead of us for next year regarding the championship. It's possible to win it again. Of course it is. I worked in a club, as you know, Shakhtar Donetsk, where Michel Lushescu, he won 11 championships. 11. And he just stopped it because of the war. Because the war impacted a lot the football in Ukraine at that time, and Dynamo Kiev won a championship. Because Donetsk was the beginning of the war in Ukraine, and all the club had to move. So in that year, the championship was lost. And it was the moment when Lushescu left the club. But he won 11. And I was there, I watched some of them. So it's possible to win. I was witnessing first person about a coach that won 11 championships. A coach, no, a club. He won the last ones, most of them. It's possible. It's possible. But it's hard work for it.
Coach, and as a follow up, I mean, you're saying it's still possible to win. Are you also looking at that in the context of this season? That because it's not the season is not over for you.
No,
Still
very
games
far away
coming.
from it.
So is it still possible
Look,
to win?
do you know what I tell the players yesterday? Because maybe you don't believe, but we just trained yesterday. So after the match we played in Shipa, we just trained yesterday. And we came on the match. But yesterday I told them, look guys, tomorrow we don't go on a party. We go to celebrate. It's completely different. Because to party, we already partied. After the match of Shipa, we partied there. We danced, We made everything we had the right to do. But today, no. Today we celebrate. And to celebrate it properly, we need to win. Because it's part of our. So that we could be here, we could have this kind of speech. Otherwise, imagine me if I had lost, or if we had lost today. To not be the same thing here, everybody. But the proof of character of these boys is exactly that. To arrive today and make it again. And I think that is the energy that the boys have, or still have, and that I will keep push to have. But the season is not over. The season is not over, and when the coach tells immediately after a success that we have a match, but it's not a part, is a celebration where we have to perform, shows the players where we stand, and who else more than the players want to make it in the level.
Gentlemen, if you phone